There's so many different ways to think about or conceive of the spiritual life. And one of the ways that I continue to come back to time and again is this idea of transformation. There's a passage that says, "Don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind," that you might effectively understand what God's hope is for each of us. So, transformation, of course, is this ongoing process. Sometimes it's one step forward, two steps back. Sometimes it's like the opening up of a next little chapter. Our ability to see things either a little more clearly or a little more deeply. All the while, as a person of Christian faith, it's about relying on God's Spirit to shepherd, maybe we'd say, this process of transformation. So Richard Rohr has been doing this series this week on the communion of the saints. And one of the things that he talks about in terms of the sense of the communion of saints is the saints' ability to see things as one, sort of connected, unified. He refers back to this passage in John, where Jesus spoke these things, and lifting up his eyes to heaven, he said, "Father, I do not ask on behalf of these alone, but for those who also believe in me through their word, that they may all be one. Even as you, Father, are in me and I am in you, that they may be in us, so that the world may believe that you sent me." It speaks to this sense of connection and indwelling, that Jesus dwells in God, God dwells in Jesus, that people dwell in God and God dwells in people. And so what Richard Rohr says is that, the degree to which we're able to recognize that oneness in ourselves, our neighbors, and God, to the degree we can see that oneness, that we're moving toward transformation, being conformed, perhaps we might say, to the likeness of God, this process of sanctification. And to the degree that we can't see that, well, I don't know if progress or regression is a helpful metaphor or not, but to the degree that we can't recognize the oneness, we're missing out on something that could be deeper or more beautiful. So what we might do is to attend to these matters and to push against the things that are divisive, that move away from, that inhibit this ability to see a oneness. So the degree to which we separate things, or separate ourselves, if we want to get more personal, from people according to class or race or nationality or religion, like the degree to which we see division instead of unity, Rohr is saying is the degree to which we are moving toward the image or likeness of God or away from it. And he says the saints are those people who have experienced it, in an essential way. This sense of connectedness to chickadees chirping, to people from whom we are either urged to believe, pushed or prodded to believe we're separate from, anyone we call our enemy. So perhaps today, could we trust the little sense of unity, not as something that's designated or relegated to the realm of saints, but to each one of us as we seek to live lives as people who are shaping the love and allowing that love of God to flow through us each moment. It's a tide coming in, tide moving out. One step forward, one step back. Some days, and here we are together with one another. Blessings on your day as we find God during these times of COVID. Today's March the 12th.